right now my hair just looks like a really good blow dry, honestly, especially right here. This one thing ruined my silk press. Granted, there was like 5 things, you know, as I reviewed the footage, but this one thing could have made it all better. Hello, welcome to Entirely JoJo, where today we are talking about trying to attempt the silk press. This is a very difficult task for me. It might not be for many women, but I've had struggle upon struggle with this. This is the last time that I tried heat in my hair. I'm a huge advocate of learning things as life goes on. So I'm going to show you all the mistakes that I made so that you won't do it. Here we are recapping my terrible hair year. I had a rough one, and I'm showing you all the things that I did. If you would like to see some of those things, plus get a little bit of information on the way, keep on watching. So I'm gonna break down my silk press attempt into 7 products steps as you would. 1, cleanse. 2, protein treatment. 3, condition. 4, deep condition. 5, leave-in conditioner. 6, heat protectant and blow dry. And 7, flat iron. 2 passes and a trim. So I've been doing lots and lots of research on what to do. So much that I literally became overwhelmed with how much information there was. So many different ways to do it. Some girls that were so confident and this is what you should do, but then when their hair was not straightened, it was heat damage. So I'm like, okay, that sounded good, but your hair is heat damaged, so I'm not really sure if you know, it didn't quite, things weren't matching, okay? Things weren't lining up. So choice number 1, what shampoo should I use? I saw sulfate free. That was constant across the board. But then I saw some people say use a clarifying shampoo, and I saw some people say moisturizing shampoo. I do not know what the correct answer is. You're probably yelling the answer right now. Write it in the comments so I can know next time. We don't know how this is gonna go yet, but just write it down. Just write it down. So I have moisturizing shampoo, clarifying shampoo, and I want to go the clarifying way. I don't know. As you can see, I did sit there and debate with myself a little bit. Ultimately, it came down to I wanted to use a clarifying shampoo. The best clarifying shampoo that I have tried thus far is Olaplex 4C. Absolutely beautiful. If you want to see the full review on that, check out this link. But this has a lot of great things going for it. So I started with parted detangled hair, followed the instructions, which is you use your fingertips, you get into your scalp, and you go up to your hair strands, and you let it sit for up to 5 minutes. This is a cleansing process, leaves your hair beautifully cleaned without being stripped. And therefore you see me dancing, because what else do you do while you wait for your hair to clarify? One of the beautiful things about Olaplex 4C, it only needs 1 wash. I won't get into it, but it has bond rebuilding ingredients. It's pH balanced, free of all the yucky things that we don't want. It's vegan, it's paraben free, it's phosphate free, it's sulfate free. So my hair came out squeaky clean, looking good. Unfortunately, hindsight is 2020, and I had my hair parted at the beginning of my wash, but not at the end. What I should have done was had my hair parted at the end of the wash in preparation for the protein treatment. Look at my texture, just living its best 4C life. I love to see it. I need a trim, but it's so healthy. For my protein treatment, I went in with the Keratin 2-minute reconstructor. I have tried the 2-step Afro-G. Discovered it had very terrifying ingredients, and I thought that the Keratin treatment would be better. However, it was not the case. It contained equally scary ingredients, maybe not as scary as this word, but equally scary ingredients. I'm not a huge fan of mineral oil, and it's really high on the ingredient list. It has phosphorus in it, and it's not vegan. So the collagen and this word makes me feel real squeamish. Real squeamish. I tried combing it through with the wide tooth comb, and it wasn't working, which led me to discover the directions did not state to use a comb. It said to use your hands, starting at the end and work your way into your scalp. I really didn't do this. I just plastered it into my hair and worked it in as best as I could. I really didn't go up into my scalp. I just wasn't a fan of the way it felt. I didn't like the smell. I just kind of wanted it in and out. And yes, I have to use gloves. I don't know, something about the materials, my hands seem to be very sensitive to it. Once it was in enough to my satisfaction, as per instructed, I let it sit for 3 minutes. It got hard and crunchy as it dried down, similar to the Afro-G 2-step. I'm sure the Afro-G keratin treatment works great for many people. If you are interested in a quick treatment, this is $10 for 8 ounces. They have a smaller bottle and a bigger bottle on their website. With the 8-ounce bottle, I'm sure you can get 5 or 6 uses if you have hair the same density as mine. If you have more, you could get less, and if you have less, you can get more. I will of course leave all the links for anything that I use in the description, but for me personally, I will not be purchasing. I am searching for an excellent protein treatment. Something without animal products in it would be preferable. Something without parabens or phosphates, anything like that. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them below. I am searching for something. Until then, if I ever try any silk press again, I will most likely just use a deep conditioner at the end of my wash day with protein in it. Something like this, I'm very interested in trying the Don't Despair Repair, and I have a little test one that I got from Sephora. I have a lot more knowledge about ingredients and cosmetic rules than I did when I reviewed Olaplex and when I tried to silk press my hair. That being said, I learned that there was a PAO symbol that is on all cosmetic products. PAO symbol is this right here, and it stands for period after opening, signifying that once this seal has been broken, depending on the number, you have a certain amount of times before this product is no longer good. When you open a product, air and different things get into it and it can degrade, and certain ingredients only last a certain amount of time. If anyone is saying, well, that's cosmetics, Joe, well, no, I'm gonna read this. Cosmetics, according to the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, refers to articles intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, sprayed on, introduced into, or otherwise applied to the human body for cleaning, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance. Now I say all this because my Olaplex products were more than a year old. I think they're about a year and 2 or 3 months at the time that I tried this, and some of the products didn't work as well, and maybe that has something to do with it. Check your products at home and see if your time period has gone by, especially your makeup and your skincare. That was alarming for me. Onto the conditioner. You want your hair to be very moisturized when you're about to put some heat in. That's why I'm making sure I'm following every single step that an excellent wash day consists of. I'm glad I used as much as I can. I tend to have a heavy hand, and it is my money, so I will throw my money as I want to. Seemed to work just fine. I didn't really have too much of a problem. I do have an Olaplex video, but I would love to give it updated. I've learned so much more, as I've told you. But if you do still want to see that, there's a link for that. Olaplex number 5 has quite a few of moisturizing ingredients, bond rebuilding ingredients, and silicone. Now we'll talk about the silicone in just a little bit. Just so you know, it is vegan, it is sulfate free, it doesn't have parabens and phosphates and any other scary thing we might want to avoid. So you can get a 250 milliliter bottle or 8.5 ounces for $30, and you can get 100 milliliters, 3.3 ounces for $15. My bottle is the 15 bottle one, so you're getting a little bit more than double if you buy the bigger bottle. So when I'm conditioning, I love to use my wet brush. It's not actually a wet brush, it is actually the Tangle Teezer. I absolutely love this brush. It works wonderfully in my wet hair, detangles quickly. You should start at the end, so don't do what you see me doing, but it works beautifully when I have a lot of water and conditioner in my hair. This I would always recommend. Love, love, love this brush. Olaplex number 5 says just to let it sit for 3 minutes, so that's what I did, and I moved right on to the deep conditioner. So I figured I would just stick with what I was using, which tended to be Olaplex. So number 8 is a bond intensive moisture mask. You're supposed to apply to clean damp hair, started mid-length to ends, being very sparingly with your roots. It's supposed to add shine and body while increasing moisture to damaged hair. Now when we look at the ingredients, we see some great moisture, we see some amino acid, we see the bond rebuilding ingredient, but the second ingredient on this list is this word. Now some of you already know what this word is. Let's keep in mind that this is all preparation for heat. This whole set that I've been doing is so that my hair can handle the heat correctly. That being said, there are certain ingredients and things that work well with heat. Ingredients like these. Now I can add one more to that list, silicone. Yes, this word is silicone. Now before you have a heart attack, let's talk about this. I know we've been taught to be afraid of silicone, and that's perfectly normal. There's good reason. Silicone is a sealant. Therefore, You are incapable of putting something into your hair after you've sealed it with silicone. The other reason why people hate silicone is hard to get out of your hair with a regular shampoo. However, to every bad there is a good. Silicone being a sealant keeps moisture in. If you don't have to add anything, silicone is a good thing to have as a last layer. And the reason why I'm okay with using silicone in this instance, because silicone has a low thermal conductivity, which means it transforms heat at a low rate, which is perfect when you're dealing with heat. Now, I'm not saying that silicone is great. I'm not saying silicone is bad. I'm saying that if done correctly, you can use silicone, and all you need to do is a great clarifying shampoo. This is great. So I put this in my hair. I did put a lot in there, and then I got under the steamer. Now, the steamer I love, and I think it's a great way to get some good hydration into your hair, great way to get your cuticles opened, is whatever you're putting in your hair gets into your hair, especially deep conditioners. Deep conditioners are for the inside of your hair. You want heat, you want some type of form of heat to get that into the shaft of your hair. I used a shower cap in this case, and I used like a headband basically, and that was just to prevent the product from running into my eyes. I have seen people use it with a shower cap, and I've seen them use it without. Me personally, I feel like you can work both ways depending on what you want. My only concern when it comes to that is how long you are under the steamer. My steamer gets really hot, and I do not have like a temperature gauge. It just has like this little spinny thing at the top that you can open to kind of let out some of the steam. It is very easy to burn your scalp, so please do not stay under the steamer more than 10 minutes. I think 15 is pushing it, so more than 10 minutes. If you do that, you won't have any problem. As I rinsed it out, I sectioned it off in preparation for the hard stuff, which is why we're all here, trying to straighten my hair. Next step is leave-in conditioner. I wasn't aware that that was something that was so important before flat ironing your hair. In my previous attempts, I had never used any type of leave-in conditioner. I did mention before the ingredients that are great for heat. There were a couple other ones that I was specifically looking for when I was looking at leave-ins and heat protectant. I decided initially that I would have used my Olaplex No. 6. It had a few of the ingredients that I was looking for, and it was already accessible to me. So in my head, I was good. I had a leave-in. However, as you can see, I was a little disappointed when I read the wording on my Silk Infusion. For some reason, my brain thought this was a heat protectant. I thought this was the heat protectant. This is not a heat protectant. This is a leave-in treatment. An excellent leave-in treatment, but at this point, I was up a creek without a paddle, and this was my huge mistake. I forgot a heat protectant. Well, I didn't really forgot, but I didn't have one. At this point, I tried whatever I thought I could use. I had a couple old things with me. This one is so old. This has got to be like 10 years old. Super old. That didn't do anything. When it was time to blow dry, I really just had my leave-in and nothing else. I've seen multiple people use this as a heat protectant because that is how it is advertised, and the ingredients would support that, being that this is silicone and other things. But again, it comes back to it being super old. Maybe it would have worked if I had tried it better, but I was just at this point just completely discouraged and didn't know what to do other than just to be gentle. So when it came to this blow dry, this was a fail. This was a super fail. So I put the shower cap on my head to keep the moisture in the sections that I hadn't started with the blow dryer yet. What I would do is take the section out and pat with microfiber towel, and then I would proceed to blow dry on way too low of a setting, but you know, that's neither here or there. I have the Revlon, is that what it's called? Yes, Revlon. What is this? Heat brush? Hair brush? What is this? This. I have this. I have this. I, again, come back down to I just had leave-in and not really something that I was confident in for a heat protectant. So I turned down the temperature on this. It has 2 settings, and if you listen, this would have been okay. But when I did this, if you look, this is when I wasn't actually able to straighten out my hair. And the blow dry is so important when you're trying to silk press. If you don't get that right, you're just, why even try? Why try? I'm actually wondering if I had pulled out this and just used it on the cool, if I had done that, if it would have been better. I do really like this. It's very convenient, it's very comfortable, but I'm not a huge fan of the brush. I feel more comfortable using it when I am relaxed. I do really like it. I want to try it again on my natural hair with a proper heat protectant, but I feel like you can easily use this on the low setting if you have maybe a type 3 hair. Obviously type 2 and 1 would also work, but I think type 4 it's hard. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with blow drying, so I'm sure someone else could give a better opinion, especially since I didn't have a heat protectant, so I didn't give it my all. It's very convenient, it's very comfortable. It's much more comfortable than this. Oops. With the comb attachment, I've always struggled with this. It always feels really, really awkward. I always end up going like this, but I tried my best to blow dry without heat protectants. But I do want to talk about the ingredients in this. This has excellent ingredients, perfect for heat. The first, some form of silicone. Then we're going to have hydrolyzed silk, hydrolyzed corn protein, hydrolyzed soy protein, hydrolyzed wheat protein, water. Then we have like the preservative type things and, you know, the bottom, the end of the barrel kind of ingredients. I do really like this. I really like this. This is an excellent leave-in serum. Another good one, if you don't like silicone, is the Olaplex No. 9. I've tried this before. It's really nice, actually. I do really like this. This is going to have water and no silicone. So if you would rather that, this is your best bet. As I fight to get this blow dry as good as I could, my next step was to flat iron and trim. Now, initially, when I thought I was going to add a heat protectant, my plan was to use the hot comb as my first pass and then go in with my flat iron. In between, I planned to trim, and I was expecting it to lay nicely. No, I did try with heat and comb, but I just was so scared of burning off my hair. I turned the temperature way down. Hot comb, I turned it down on my Babyliss, and I turned it down on the regular, all the flat irons. I just turned the temperature down. I just wasn't comfortable using that much heat without something I knew was a heat protectant. So I think it's not hot enough. I have it at 300, but I really don't want to burn my hair. It's okay if it's gonna be poofy. Sarah. I was to do this again. This is the heat protectant I would have bought. Unfortunately, I didn't figure this out until after I had tried this. This is my favorite current heat protectant. This has water and glycerin, silicone, hydrolyzed silk, panthenol, biotin, some more collagen, propylene glycol, PVP. These are things that I was looking for in my heat protectant, and I didn't find it until too late. But if you want to try, this is a great heat protectant. It's very light, it's very airy, but it protects up to 450, it says, which is pretty cool. When I got to my second pass with the heat, I then proceeded to start trimming. I needed to trim a whole bunch more. I definitely did, especially in the front. If I had trimmed as much as I actually needed to trim, I'm pretty sure I would have had to go down to like that much. My hair was extremely damaged in the front. Just didn't really, I don't know. I just didn't really notice. I was just so focused on trying to figure out how to do this silk press. I did not notice how badly I had damaged the front of my hair in the last month or so. I didn't do the chase method. I had this thing, but this thing is just terrifying to me. I know. There's so much more for me to learn. I'm excited about getting my hair back healthy, getting back to a good length of hair, and trying it again. I do really want to master this. I have no plans to give up yet. I just keep learning more information, and I believe I can do it. I do. So I used the saran wrap to wrap my hair. I think I actually went under the heater for a little bit to see if it would like kind of smooth down the cuticles. I needed to cut off more hair. That's what it comes down to. But I tried. Okay, I tried. Overall though, my hair came out still relatively healthy. As you can see, the front still not great, but I didn't experience that extreme heat damage that I did last time. Thank you, Jesus, because my goodness Lord, I can't. I really just can't. My hair does tend to fight heat. It just always has. So I do tend to get more of a fuzzy hair, fluffy, fuzzy look unless it's relaxed. I'm okay with failure as long as I've learned from it and as long as I'm able to do it the next time. I think it was the next couple of days when I washed it out. I only had a little bit of heat damage. Was it on this side or this side? I can't remember, but it was a little bit of a heat damage, but nothing too alarming, something I could handle, which made me feel good about my choices. I now know why some of them might not have worked as well, and also, of course, the heat protection, but it was a great learning experience. I hope you can learn something from this also. Now, I said there was one big mistake, which was the heat protectant or lack thereof. But let's be honest, there was multiple other mistakes that I've made. I had damage here in the front, which meant that my hair wouldn't be able to handle the heat as well, which meant that my ends weren't even, which meant that it wouldn't have laid as well. I did not use enough heat because I didn't have the heat protectant. Therefore, my hair wasn't able to achieve any type of silkiness or smoothness. I needed to trim more. Again, coming back to laying it down better. If I had trimmed more, some of my hair would have laid better. It would have looked a little bit more smoother, more silkier. My products were expired. And I think that was one of the biggest things, that even though I didn't have a proper heat protectant, because of the ingredients that I was using, this really could have still worked. But these were expired products and didn't do as well as they could have. I completely failed my blow dry. Completely. There is just no ifs, ands about it. I've achieved better blow dries in the past, but that Revlon did not work for me. Did not have a proper heat protectant, so was way too scared to turn up that heat. And I didn't use the chase method. I hear a lot of people talk about chase methods. I didn't use that. Maybe that would have worked, but at that point I really had given up and I really didn't care. I just wanted it to be done with the whole thing. And so that was my mistakes. How many mistakes is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 mistakes, technically. A lot of them are directly linked with having the heat protect. Thankfully, I didn't come out with too much heat damage. Despite my errors, I did come out with more knowledge, and I am sharing with you. Try a couple of these products. They're really good. I do recommend this combo right here. This does a world of a difference. Of course, I love Olaplex. I always recommend Olaplex. It has a lot of ingredients that are good when leading to using heat. Another good one I think would be Adwoa Beauty. Blue Tansy Reparative Conditioner, Blue Tansy Clarifying Shampoo, and the Blue Tansy Reparative Mask. I believe this is their heat set that they offer, and they have a couple other things that go to it to help with the heat, but it has a lot of protein and moisture in it. And like we discussed, those are things that you want when planning to put heat in your hair. Well, I think that's all I have for you. I hope this was of some interest to you. I hope you learned something. If you have any thoughts and concerns, drop them below. I'd love to see them. Tell me about your experiences with heat. Tell me what you have learned and what you can and cannot do. Everyone's hair is different. Let me know if you even use heat, if you've just completely written it off, or if you're one of those girls that uses it every 2 weeks. I hope this was entertaining. I hope you learned something, and I hope you come back. And see you again next time. It's a struggle for me. I struggle. The moisture. Since tried this again, parabens, phosphates, urine. And as you can see, the curls are popping. So 4, not 1, 4. Okay, continue. The time has finally come. The time where I will venture into the land that so many have gone before. A land full of luscious curls, shine, bounce, swing, and body for days. But also a land of terrifying, frizzy beasts, monstrous stiffness, and deadly damage. Will I survive? Or will I be overcome by the beasts of the land? No, but for real, like, all jokes aside, I am terrified.